between UCF and Oklahoma. And we are underway with Groves winning the tip. Sooners will have the first possession.
How about the timing on Tanner Groves winning that tip for C.J. Walker, probably the best athlete in the American Conference.
Groves surrounded in the paint. Nice find. Jalen Hill with the first bucket.
That's what Groves can do. You worry so much about the things he can do scoring-wise, but he is an extremely underrated passer.
Darius Perry's first shot off the mark. Outstanding three-point shooter. UCF as a team has shot it pretty well, and Perry's activity level leads to a turnover. Officials say that was off the hands of Goldwire.
This is the most athletic team that Oklahoma has faced this season. UCF wants to steal passes, not dribbles. They're going to get out and pressure on both ends of the floor. In the full court, in the half court, they want to disrupt as many passes as possible.
Sooners 5-1. Their lone loss came against Utah State in the finale of the Myrtle Beach Classic. Lost in the championship game 73-70.
That was great defense by Jalen Hill, bodying up Walker in the post.
And then Hill coming over to generate the steal. Green gets it back, shot clock resets, and it leads to a dunk for Jong, but he traveled.
Yeah, Jong got caught in no man's land. He needed to take a baby dribble. One quick baby dribble. As you can see, this bit of a helter-skelter play. Green finally comes up with the basketball.
Well, it looked like it was going to be an easy dunk. Is a turnover. And a big story in this game is how Oklahoma will handle UCF's full court pressure. Elijah Harkless, quick first step, couldn't get the shot to go. Rebounded by Jong. Perry into the paint. Rebound bouncing around. It'll be a foul against Oklahoma.
One thing that Oklahoma does really well is guard the three-point line. They are one of the best defending three-point shooting teams in the country. Top 25 in three-point field goal percentage defense, but they are susceptible to dribble penetration in the paint. That's the one thing that they need to work on.
Porter Moser told us when we talked to him last night, feels like his defense still has a long way to go, but he's critical of it. Darren Green misses the three, but another offensive rebound. Jong fakes the handoff, takes it right at Groves, and UCF turns it over.
But that was really smart defense by Tanner Groves.
Porter Moser, first year as the head coach at Oklahoma. Phenomenal run at Loyola Chicago. 2 trips to the Sweet 16 in the last 4 seasons. Came out of the NCAA tournament bubble and took over a program that was in need of some serious work. When he got the job, every single player on the roster was in the transfer portal, and there are 8 transfers on this roster.
Coach Mosier talked about, we're still figuring out who we are. New coach, new system, and players are still trying to figure out how to play with each other.
With the shot clock running down, there's Umoja Gibson with a 3. Outstanding shooter.
That's what he does. He's got a quick release. He's always surveying the court for a quick 3.
Perry short. UCF can't find the range thus far. Oklahoma, a team that wants to get up and down. Pass from Harkless goes off the hands of Groves.
Well, half-court offensively, Oklahoma is pretty sound. They've been good, but not up to head coach Porter Mosier's standards. They want to be more consistent, moving the basketball, putting the defense in a position of uncertainty, and on that possession, look pretty efficient for the Sooners.
More than 3 minutes in, UCF is yet to score. Oklahoma really getting after it defensively. Mahan into the lane, some contact, and Mahan gets the jumper to fall.
Thought that was some really good ball movement for UCF. They love the dribble handoff action. Oklahoma's might have to guard 3 or 4 dribble handoffs per possession.
Mahan only averaging 8 points per game. A guy who was UCF's second leading scorer a year ago. Jordan Goldwire not close with that runner, and here comes Perry.
Oh, no.
Got Jalen Hill to the ground, couldn't do anything with it. CJ Walker will take the jumper, and it's rebounded by Gibson. Good screen in the backcourt by Groves. Gibson got all the way to the lane before Jong cut him off.
Oklahoma has a mismatch in the post, and Groves is calling for it. Good job of Mahan fronting that post position.
Groves has got it now one-on-one with Mahan. Jong comes over to help. C.J. Nolan in off the bench. His first shot no good. Hill battling inside, ripped it away, and Goldwire's 3 is around and out.
That's a good half-court possession for Oklahoma, but it was better defense for UCF until they came up with the offensive rebound.
Darren Green off the screen. Jong had the rebound, knocked ball out of the timeout. Goldwire really getting up into Green.
And that was Harkless, and Harkless is a very good on-ball defender on Green.
Mahan draws some contact. Umoja Gibson got his hand in there on the shot attempt, and it'll be 2 free throws for Brandon Mahan.
This is what Oklahoma cannot do. They cannot consistently send UCF to the free throw line. It's not a hot take. This is one of the best free throw shooting teams in all of college basketball. 3rd best free throw shooting team in the country.
Brandon Mahan, 91% a year ago. He has yet to miss at the line this season, now 12 of 12. And still perfect. Number 13 has made all 13 of his attempts.
Are you happy that you didn't jinx the free throw shooter on that?
I definitely was holding my breath a bit as the shot was in the air. Broadcasters often blamed, though really no credible evidence that we have anything to do with that.
Theoretical evidence.
Harkless being harassed defensively by Mahan. Foul on the Knights.
The guards for Oklahoma have to be careful in those situations. What UCF is doing in the ball screen, it's a mixture between double teaming the ball screen and extending the hedge defender. They're really trying to push the ball out of the ball handler's hands in the ball screen.
UCF brings on Sean Mobley and Ty Freeman. Mobley seeing early action. He made his season debut last Saturday against Evansville. Second year at UCF after transferring in from VCU. Gibson ends up with a clean look and a strong rebound by Walker.
Mobley's in the game for UCF as a defensive specialist against Groves.
Mahan misfires on the 3. Both Groves brothers on the floor for Oklahoma. A deflection by Perry, and here comes Walker. A finger roll for C.J. Walker, and UCF has the lead.
It's what UCF loves to do. That's their best offense. Create havoc defensively, turnover into transition. C.J. Walker, one of the best athletes in the American Conference, getting it done.
Bijan Cortez, number 14 in for Oklahoma. Groves really working for position on Mobley. Got it and gave it right back up.
Nice pocket pass, wow.
Well, a ball fake and the shot was pinned against the glass by Walker. Walker runs into Groves, and that's an offensive foul.
C.J. Walker is the reigning leading shot blocker in the American Conference, but his game offensively has increased exponentially this season. It's not just getting out in transition. I mean, check out the handle. That's a big-time athlete at 6'8", making a play in the full court.
Walker has scored 9 or more points in every game this season. He gets a breather as Isaiah Adams comes on.
I think that's, for Coach Dawkins, been one of the pleasant surprises offensively for UCF. Is C.J. Walker was great defensively, outstanding, one of the best defenders in the American Conference, but he was inconsistent on the offensive end. His game, he's averaging 11 points a game this season. Been really on the money offensively for the Knights.
A big uptick in production for C.J. Walker. Ethan Shagwa into the game for Oklahoma. Shot clock down to 5. Harkless. Gibson, there's Groves, open 3. Off the mark and a good block out by Adams.
That was good offense by Oklahoma. Just came up empty on that possession.
Mahan isolated on Groves.
Oh, my.
Oh, big shot, Brandon Mahan.
That is statistically one of the best ISO players in the country. One-on-one, you better crowd him as much as you can.
If Mahan can start to get it going offensively, this UCF team gets to a whole other level. Harkless trying to settle the Oklahoma offense.
Yeah, Gibson wanted to let that 3 go on Mobley. Oh, Harkless caught him.
Shot clock down to 5. Gibson. Harkless has to take the 3, unable to hit. UCF in the midst of a 9-0 run, and Oklahoma has missed their last 7 shots. Goldwire really getting up defensively on Mahan. Adams isolated on Harkless.
Last 2 possessions for the Sooners, it was really good action, just came up empty on 3s.
Oklahoma's found themselves late in the shot clock frequently against UCF's half-court defense. Harkless turns down the screen, has to pick up the dribble. Another late clock. It's down to 5. Goldwire calls for a screen. And the Sooners don't get a shot away.
That's what Coach is talking about right here. He's just looking at his guys. You got to know the time. He's talking to Harkless. He's talking to Goldwire. You got to understand time, score, possession. That's the leadership aspect. That's the growth aspect that he wants from his guards this season.
They talk specifically about guys having a larger voice. Mahan open 3, unable to keep his hot streak going. And an errant pass from C.J. Noland leads to another OU turnover.
That's 6 turnovers for Oklahoma already in this first half. You could see some of the pressure, full court, and in the half court for UCF is bothering a lot of these passes for Oklahoma.
The 2 big priorities for Porter Moser were handling UCF's pressure and having good possessions. Those 2 things have proven to be challenging thus far. Darius Johnson, UCF's freshman point guard, into the game for the first time. That errant pass from Isaiah Adams leads to a UCF turnover.
It's a pass you need to turn down. Freeman was open for a split second, but so close around the rim with all that congestion. If you're not 100% sure, you have to turn that down.
Hill gets Adams on his hip. Mobley there to trap. And with a shot clock at 15, Oklahoma starts to initiate their offense with Goldwire. Harkless's pass for Shagwa was high, and here come the Knights in transition. Adams for 3. That is way off. Mahan taps the rebound to OU. Now the Sooners with numbers. Shagwa left open. Pumped and then buried the 3.
That shot almost never falls down for shooters. When you hesitate and ball fake, and the reason why it never falls down is because most players don't practice that shot. They just practice catch and shooting. Nice rhythm by Shagwa to knock it down.
Goldwire with the steal and the finish. The transfer from Duke, all ACC defensive team a year ago. and he has added a tremendous on-ball element defensively to Oklahoma.
He is a lockdown ball hawk for Oklahoma. He was that way at Duke. There were times where it felt like in the second half he would just win games for Duke in one-on-one battles defensively.
Mobley for three. UCF just 1 of 8 from three-point range thus far. Oklahoma with a 1-point lead. UCF trapped the ball screen, and Ty Freeman commits the foul.
And this is actually freshman point guard Darius Johnson's fault. Do you see where he slowed down and just stopped? You can't do that against Goldwire, who was on the ACC all-defensive team. This is a guy who's played in huge games against some of the top talent in the country. He knows how to shoot a gap. You have to come meet the pass against a player like Goldwire.
116 games at Duke for Goldwire before coming to Oklahoma. And Porter Moser said when he gets his athleticism into the game, he is a guy who can dictate the pace.
He is the head of the snake for this Oklahoma defense, no question about it.
Shagwa not close with that three. Walker corrals it for UCF. Dre Fuller is checked in. Darren Green doesn't need much space. Couldn't get that one to go. He went for the rebound, leaving Harkless all alone. It pops out, but he'll be on the line.
And if you're the coach for UCF, whose fault is that? That would be Darren Green's fault. He got caught no man's land thinking he could chase down a long rebound when he had Harkless leaking out. Top man on any offense, your job is to get back and protect the basket when a shot goes up. A three-point shooter should never follow his own shot.
UCF averages 8.5 made threes per game. Right now they are 1 of 9. Harkless hits 1 of 2. Leading returning scorer from last year's team at 9 a game. One of the few guys that's back for Porter Moser.
I wouldn't relax if I was Oklahoma. UCF shooting 1 for 9 is not the norm. They can get hot and get hot quickly.
Walker had it poked away from Bijan Cortez, the freshman point guard. Got matched up in the post on a switch.
That was sneaky defense by Cortez. Really good look by the freshman.
Harkless with a crossover. Tried to get it to Groves inside.
See all the movement for Oklahoma. It's hard to guard and chase everybody that's cutting through the lane.
Good offense there, but Mason missed the 3. UCF with numbers. Good job by Oklahoma recovering defensively. Transition defense,
man,
big priority.
Great defense by Harkless. CJ Walker tried to rip baseline and just starts with the feet with Harkless. Love it. Watch this action right here.
Johnson loses the handle. Harkless punches it through. Lead for Oklahoma. Both teams have gone long stretches without scoring here in the first half. UCF went on a 9-0 run. OU right now in the midst of a 7-0 run. Perry finding no room off the handoff. Shot clock now down to 6. Perry forced into a tough drive, and he ends up traveling. Let's check in over on the sideline with Selena Roche.
So it's the season of giving back, and UCF player CJ Walker did just that in Sanford this past week. He handed out 200 turkeys to 200 different families in need, giving back to his hometown community.
All right, Selena Walker, a guy with a big heart. People from Sanford care a tremendous deal about that community. It's a city that has a lot of pride And Walker certainly a vital part of that community.
I mean, you know how exhausted the athletes are right now at this time in the season. For him to take the time to go out and do that, that's awesome. Just awesome.
I saw a few stories this weekend of guys using some of their NIL money to buy turkeys, other Thanksgiving supplies for families that were less needy. Just tremendous contributions from so many student athletes around the country.
It's one thing with NIL, it's not always these million-dollar deals that you'll see that make the headlines. Sometimes it's the small plays that give the opportunity for athletes to make a difference in their community. It's one of the beautiful things about NIL.
With the shot clock running down, Groves had to try to make something happen. He picks up an offensive foul.
Hey, Oklahoma's defense on the perimeter the last 4 minutes has been smothering the perimeter of UCF's offense. UCF has 8 turnovers, 0 assists so far. Sooners have been locked down defensively.
Oklahoma's also turned it over 8 times. Neither team generating many quality looks. Mahan had just a sliver of room, opted not to take the shot, and now numbers for the Sooners. Goldwire with a floater. Nice finish by Jordan Goldwire.
I mean, how under control do you have to be to go full sprint, stop on 2 feet, and then have the touch for the floater? That is impressive body control.
A screen and roll. Jong had it pop out. Walker's second attempt, no good as well. It's now almost 5 minutes without scoring for UCF. Oklahoma with its largest lead. Harkless had it poked away. Perry up ahead. Porter Moser getting on the officials about giving Perry a technical foul, which will come because Perry was hanging on the rim. Johnny Dawkins about as upset as I've ever seen him with his reaction to that call. The officials will come together to have a discussion about whether or not Perry was hanging to avoid an Oklahoma player, and now they decide that he was.
I understand the Oklahoma bench being upset with the hanging on the rim, no call on the technical. To me, initially live, it looked like Perry was worried that Gibson was underneath him, which is why he hung on the rim.
Well, the officials agreed with you. How do you feel after watching the replay?
I can understand why the initial technical foul was called. I can.
Ty Freeman called for his second foul.
How about this? Let me be incredibly, middle of the road here. I get Darius. I can understand the mindset of Darius Perry not exactly knowing where Gibson was and not wanting to fall down on Gibson and getting him or Gibson hurt. And I also understand from the Oklahoma bench point of view, that's hanging on the rim, and it is.
Shot clock down to 5. Hill in the corner being harassed by Walker. Groves gets it up. It doesn't hit the rim, and it's the second shot clock violation against OU.
Really good individual defensive possession for Darius Perry of walling up and guarding, not just in the post. He had to push Groves out. Groves goes out to the 3, defending without fouling while the shot clock is falling down. How many times have we seen, not just UCF, but any team, you play great defense, you want to wall up on the possession, and then you get so excited, potential shot block, and you don't wall up and the foul's called. It's a good job by Perry.
And that's Perry at 6'2", challenging 6'10" Tanner Groves.
Too
Green
much room.
off the handoff.
Too much room.
Splashes at 3, and the Knights are back within 1. Good screen set by Shagwa in the backcourt. Goldwire all the way in. Walker deflected the shot. Mahan will try it from distance. Well, this place would have exploded if that had gone down. UCF still struggling from three, just 2 of 12. Chagua had position on Mahan, but the pass.
Physical and dialed in.
Perry stepped back, created just enough space on Goldwire to get the shot away, and UCF is back in front.
This is one of the best ISO scoring teams in the American Conference between Perry, Mahan, and Green. They can light you up in one-on-one. Nice slip from Chagua.
Walker got a piece of the arm, so Chagua with a trip to the line.
So watch Darius Perry size this up. The step back jumper right here, bang. That's a big time move. If you're a guard, you don't have that in your repertoire. You need to add it quick, and then Chagua with the slip. It's not a go screen. It's a read by Chagua that sees an open gap area in that pick and roll. Good slip for Chagua.
Chagua started 86 games at SMU, averaged nearly 10 points per game, hit more than 100 threes, had a strong desire to finish his college career in his home state. So, native of Tulsa, Oklahoma, comes back to play for the Sooners. And at 6'9", he is a skilled big.
Very skilled, inside-out player, prefers to play around the three, fits really well in this Oklahoma and Porter Moser type offense. You've got to be able to make multiple reads. We're not just going to play robotic. We want to really work the defense to our advantage through ball movement, cutting, and reads in the pick and roll.
Chagua 3 of 7 at the free throw line in the first 6 games for OU, but he steps up and hits both there as the lead seesaws back to the Sooners.
We thought this game was going to be tight, Austin. We just assumed there might be about 20 more points on the board for each team.
Yeah, definitely expected it to be more open offensively. And both these teams have really locked down on the defensive end. Perry got a step on Cortez and laid it in.
The ball screen reject for Darius Perry. That's a big-time move. 50% of the time, you should reject the ball screen.
Mahan with the deflection. Up ahead, here's Tony Johnson Jr. Pinned against the glass by Chagua. Harkless blocked by Green. That'll be a goaltend.
Crowd wants to travel on that previous possession. Watch Darius Perry. Ball screen's coming. You want to reject here because you see the way that Cortez looks at the screen. He turns his head. 50% of the time, guards should reject the ball screen because the defense only prepares for ball screen usage. They never prepare for the ball screen reject on the weak side. Always, when in doubt, reject the ball screen. You can always go back and use it.
Mahan locked in a battle with Harkless. Left-hand shot doesn't go. That gives you some sense of the offensive skill set for Mahan to have that shot as part of his arsenal.
I think it also speaks to the defensive prowess of Harkless, too. I mean, on-ball coverage of Brandon Mahan is not an easy feat.
Umoja Gibson with his second three.
He's their quick-release shooter. You got to jam him as soon as he catches it.
Green right in front of the Sooners bench. Buries it, sending Porter Moser down to one knee. This is more of what we expected.
Yep. You better find Darren Green on the other end. He just hit a couple. This is a guy who can hit 5 or 6 threes in a blink of an eye.
Nice screen and roll. Chagua finishes off the feed from Harkless. Perry in between defenders. Mahan found Tony Johnson Jr. A rainbow from Johnson. And UCF has found its offensive rhythm here in the closing minutes. Goldwire up and into the chest of Mobley. Impressive finish for Jordan Goldwire.
He just makes grown man basketball plays. He's a step ahead physically Again, so many defenders, uses his body to shield the defense all the time.
Perry down the lane. Shagwa lost the rebound.
The ball across the shot timeline and worked the shot clock down. Token pressure. That's a smart play by Coach Dawkins. Elects to go zone here. Now back to man. They show zone, go back to man.
Gibson driving the baseline. Nice finish there by Shagwa. And that's how the first half comes to an end. They stop the clock with 1/10 of a second after calling a travel on Tony Johnson.
It's a great evolution of Gibson's game. I mean, we know how great of a shooter he is. He's got one of the quickest releases in the Big 12, but Gibson drops a little pocket pass. Really nice.
Knights start the second half with possession, trailing by 4. The check Mbake Jong had a quiet first half. Green can't find any room coming off that screen. And once again, it's late clock for the Knights. Perry splits a double, finds Green. Good look and rebounded by Jong. Perry, quick release. Knocks down the 3. First 3 of the game for Darius Perry.
Anytime UCF perimeter attacks and tries to get the ball in the paint to make a play, not necessarily to score for the individual, but to make the right team play, they are becoming really successful.
Shot clock under 5 for Oklahoma. Groves, nice catch inside in the reverse.
I don't know how Groves caught that. I really don't have how Groves caught that. He was on the midst of a double team. Again, Green initially had nothing. And then on the drive and kick, everybody's so worried about Green scoring that he attracts so much attention. That drive and kick to Perry, those plays will be there.
UCF had Walker on Goldwire last time down, and now he switches on to him. Groves, nice control inside, dropped it off for Jalen Hill.
The interior passing for the Sooners is very good. That's something that Groves does exceptionally well as a big guy. Got to be a top 5 beard in college basketball too, right?
Tremendous beard. C.J. Walker with a rainmaker from distance.
That's shooting 40% from 3 this season. That's dangerous.
Now Walker got his body onto Omaja Gibson, so it'll be free throws for Gibson.
Here's some of the interior passing. Watch Groves avoids the charge, the wraparound dump, and that is pretty smooth. Look at that beard. That's a full beard. I couldn't do that if I had 6 years. Wouldn't be able to do that.
Lose an entire Thanksgiving turkey in that beard. No idea where it went, just in Tanner Groves' beard.
Yeah, you know, next day, good chance for leftovers.
Umoja Gibson goes 2 of 2 at the line. He's got 8. And we'll take a sit as Bijan Cortez checks in.
Cortez has a tough assignment guarding Brandon Mahan, number 13 for UCF. Top right of your screen.
Ty Freeman on for UCF. Goldwire really getting up into Mahan, and they get Jordan Goldwire for his second foul.
It's a dangerous game you have to play against a defender like Goldwire because you want to attack him. You don't want to just shy away because then you give in to the defense. but he's so sound and so strong that it's hard to draw fouls against him.
Freeman
really
challenging Hill. It's a jump ball, and the arrow will give it to Oklahoma.
There's always times throughout the game and throughout this season for Oklahoma where they are just so locked in defensively. They play hard without fouling that it can be suffocating for an offense.
And again, Porter Moser feels like he's not where he wants his team to be defensively yet. He feels like they've got a long way to go to be connected defensively.
Well, they have a lot of individual pieces that are very good, but collectively, can they play the type of team defense that he wants? They're not there yet.
Groves got position on Freeman inside. Easy deuce.
Good start to the half for Groves. Assist, couple buckets in the interior.
Didn't score in the first half, has 4 so far here in the second half.
Man.
Ty Freeman. Looks like Cortez got a piece of that, and it drops in.
That is a serious move by Freeman. Catching the pass, faking the drive right, little rip through. Tough.
Those are the types of shots that Freeman's been taking, but he's shooting 72% from the field.
Is that good?
Incredible efficiency from Ty Freeman, the JUCO transfer. Hill has to drive late in the clock. Got a step on Jong and able to bank it in.
I wish Hill would do that more. He's a really versatile forward. He might be the best two-way player for Oklahoma. The more he drives downhill from the top of the key, I think good things happen for Oklahoma.
Green, wide open 3. Off the back iron. Don't see that too often. Goldwire in transition, commits the offensive foul. Great job by Green stepping in to take the charge.
The more that Darren Green can become a better defender, the more elite of a player he is. He's an elite shooter. He's developing into a very good scorer, more than just a shooter. When he adds more of a defensive presence, this is a kid that has pro potential because how elite of a three-point shooter he is.
Best three-point field goal percentage in the American, and he's hit multiple threes in every game this season.
And he's scoring off the dribble. He's the 6th most efficient jump shooter off the dribble in the country per Synergy Sports. He's got 21 points on 14 different dribble jumper opportunities. That's remarkably efficient.
Off the handoff from Jong. Perry with 6 on the shot clock. Nice find for Freeman. Tipped by Johnson, it wouldn't go. And Oklahoma controls the board. Sooners trying to add to a 6-point lead. Groves open 3. Short, and the rebound, Jong. Good job rebounding out of area there by Mbake Jong. Green, off the screen, he elevates and knocks down the 15-footer.
He wouldn't do that last season. He would just turn it down because he didn't have an open look for 3. But again, one of the best dribble jump shooters in all of college basketball. Lights out.
8 now for Green. Pass deflected into the backcourt. And the officials will say it was last touched by Oklahoma. Front of the rim. An uncontested dunk for Ty Freeman.
Look at this defense by Johnson. Are you kidding me?
Came off the bench early in the second half. Dropped it off for Jong. He missed the layup. Johnson a 3. It's good from the corner.
With a 3.
You never know where your contributions are going to come from on any given night. Tony Johnson had played 5 minutes all season coming into this game. He's played 5 minutes today, has a steal, and is 2 for 2 from three-point range. Shagwa lost the handle inside, battling with Freeman. It's a jump ball, and the possession arrow will go to UCF. As Shagwa and Freeman chirping at each other a bit.
I thought that was a good job of Darius Perry of grabbing Freeman right into the huddle. Avoid any of the extracurricular activities, avoiding the technical. And that's jump ball actually going UCF's way. Freeman has made some great plays in the second half. The coaching staff told me before the season, we said, we think Ty Freeman has been the unexpected surprise. We had no idea he was going to be this good and this efficient. And he has come in every single game, provided a huge spark off the bench for the Knights.
Freeman, a first-team JUCO All-American at Indian Hills Community College in Iowa last season, and shooting 72% from the floor so far this year for UCF, and he tracks down the offensive rebound. The Knights turn it over. Goldwire in the corner, Hill. That three is good, and Oklahoma surges back in front.
That's a great vision play by Goldwire. He picked up a double team, saw it coming, picked up his dribble, extra guy open, skip pass in the corner.
Offenses have come alive for both of these teams here in the second half. Get a foul on Elijah Harkless as he tried to fight through the screen of John.
This isn't very exciting to say. I understand why some people might roll their eyes at this comment, but the toughest team wins this game. You know it's going to be physical on the perimeter, in the post, loose balls. Being locked in defensively is going to be the key for either team. Whoever is the toughest, coming with the loose balls, taking the charges, getting the offensive rebounds, boxing out. Those intangibles are winning this game.
And those are the types of things that both of these coaches value so much. Baseline drive, Shagwa alone inside, that'll count, and the foul.
Jaguar's been really good. That's actually the second time that he's flexed on and ones. I haven't seen him flex in about 2 years at SMU. Took advantage of a disorganized UCF defense.
Shagwa just 2 points last time out against Houston Baptist. He leads all scorers right now with 11. Well, the Oklahoma native finishing his college career in his home state. Chance to complete the three-point play and give OU a 5-point lead. (44-39). Oklahoma up by 5, and we're under 12 minutes to go in the game. Green, bounce pass into Walker.
Good defense by Shagwa.
Johnson has to let it go. That's a deep 2 for Darius Johnson, the freshman. Knocks down the jumper.
We'll talk about high degree of difficulty for Darius Johnson. Coach Dawkins really likes Johnson's game. They felt that he could be the point guard of the future for this UCF team, getting good minutes off the bench.
A tenacious competitor. And he's matched up with Goldwire. Groves drives the baseline. Heavy traffic, and Jacob Groves, the younger of the Groves brothers, banks it in.
Groves just understands when to attack and when to press. 17th most efficient scoring team in the country when breaking the press.
And Shagwa ripped through there on Darius Johnson. The freshman guard picks up the foul. The teams combined have shot just 10 free throws in the game. There haven't been a lot of shooting fouls.
The harder you play, the less you foul, Austin. You foul because you're out of position, not because you're playing hard.
Sounds like a mantra you've had drilled into you more than once.
Yeah, listen, well, I didn't foul because I didn't want to get physical anyways. But it does make sense. If you're in position, let me step back real quick. Playing hard doesn't mean just your eyes really big, you screaming, foaming at the mouth, you know, sprinting 100 miles an hour. Playing hard is about being in position, about thinking about the scatter report. Is this player a shooter, a non-shooter? Is he a driver, non-driver? That's what playing hard's about. It's just as much mental as it is physical.
Goldwire is as competitive as they come. Certainly a guy you can rely on to play hard. He hits a three on the last possession for Oklahoma, and that's been the only thing that's held him back throughout his career. Couldn't hit open threes at Duke. And if he can start to hit that shot, he becomes a complete player for Porter Moser.
I think Oklahoma needs him to be not just a better shooter, but a better scorer.
Nolan lost the handle. Freeman had it blocked, stayed with it, and will be on the free throw line. Jalen Hill adamant that he had tied Freeman up. Instead, he gets whistled for the foul, and it's 2 free throws.
Well, it looked like a jump ball initially. There's pretty good defense by Hill. There's plenty of contact, hard to tell.
Freeman signed with Missouri State as a senior in high school, tore his ACL, redshirted, and then transferred to Indian Hills Community College in Iowa. Earned a degree while at Indian Hills, first in his family to get a college degree.
How great is that? We talk about, you know, what does it mean to be a student athlete? And it can create generational change for so many individuals and families, and you get a opportunity to play college basketball, get your degree. It sets you up for life. It's a beautiful thing.
7 points in the game for Freeman. OU by 5. They have been in control for most of the game, but the leads have been modest. Gibson passed up a 3. Harkless will take it. Walker there to contest. Shagwa battling inside. They'll get a foul against UCF. Fouls on Johnson. It's his 3rd.
Crowd doesn't like it. Let's take a look. Darius Johnson battling. I wouldn't call the foul. If there was a foul, it happened actually before the shot went up, not when the ball hit the rim. Human element for the referees. When you see physical contact, you don't call it. Then you see maybe just the same amount, you're usually going to call it for the makeup no call.
Groves missed the 3. His older brother with an offensive rebound. And will be Tanner Groves at the free throw line after the foul on Darren Green. I beg your pardon, no free throws. At least not a shooting foul, but it is the officials are indicating 1 and 1, but that's only the 4th team foul on UCF. So OU will inbound on the baseline. Porter Moser pleading his case for Rick Crawford. It ends up in a 3 for OU, the 3rd of the game for Umoja Gibson.
He's got to guard the deep corner on offense for UCF.
And UCF back up the score with a stop. Shot clock is down to 6. Baseline drive by Groves. High arcing shot, no, and Green's got it for the Knights. UCF loves to hunt threes in transition. And there's Darren Green. A deep triple. Under 7 minutes to go. It's a 4-point game. Groves turns down the screen. Goldwire, no, but Groves is there to follow it home.
Small lineup here for UCF when C.J. Walker goes for a block, and what an acrobatic shot by Darius Perry. My goodness, the body control and some.
Really upset that he didn't get a foul call. Around and down for Perry. UCF showing some zone with Tanner Groves directing traffic for OU. He's left alone inside for the easy bucket.
That's 34 points in the paint for Oklahoma, dominating the paint area.
Green wanted to get the shot up, lost the handle. Mahan on the baseline underneath Walker. It's an offensive foul. Oh, Tanner Groves gets up pumping his chest and yelling at the bench.
And the Beard loves it. He is fired up after that offensive foul. He's more fired up for a charge than he is a dunk. That's my kind of player right there. Wow.
When we talked to Tanner Moser last night, he just raved about Groves' passion. Said he wants to win, wants to be good, wears his emotions on his sleeve. Moser loves how much passion he has for the game, and it was on display right there.
Well, he said that's literally his favorite thing about his game. Not the shooting, not the passing, not the IQ. It was his passion and love. He said this kid loves to play, and he loves to win.
Gibson deep three off the front rim, and Jong has it for UCF. And Perry gets a good screen from Jong. Fuller driving. Tough shot, Dre Fuller.
Dre's another one of those slashing guards. There's like 4 players of those type of guys come off the bench for UCF that can make a play when you need it.
And Fuller has been huge off the bench in games this year for UCF. Closed out the game against Jacksonville. Hit 6 free throws late against Miami.
Isaiah Adams' defense is relentless on Goldwire.
Harkless with the shot clock at 3. Gibson has to put it up. Got it away in time. Out of bounds. It will stay with Oklahoma.
I think the crowd was so loud that they didn't hear the shot clock go off. Didn't think that Gibson got that shot off in time.
Now, Terry Oglesby is going to call in Rick Crawford and Byron Jarrett. And they will go to the monitor to review whether or not that shot beat the clock.
And I think this is the right call going over to the monitor. You can see top left of your screen, top left side of your screen, you can see the shot clock. 1 second on, it is really close. I mean, it is really, really close.
I think it's still on his finger with 0. Yeah, I mean, it's hard, it's close, but I think it's at 0 with it still on his finger.
Certainly from that angle, I would agree with you.
But you're looking for something clear and obvious.
Yes.
And that is not clear and obvious.
No, it's not. Live, I was shocked they didn't call a violation, shot clock violation. So we can see the reflection, and right there, it's still on his fingertips at 0. 0 hits right there, and that's still on his fingertips.
Yep. That's a great look.
That is a really good look by our crew.
And they have ruled a shot clock violation.
Great job by our camera crew and production team of getting that angle. Certainly made it definitive for me.
Yep, no doubt. So that gives possession back to UCF. Knights trailing by 4 with 4:49 to go in the game. And we have seen tremendous fight from both of these teams here in the second half. Knights trying to remain unbeaten. And both of these teams looking to bolster their NCAA tournament resumes. Harkless really hounding Perry. They've got him isolated. Perry all the way in, and he gets fouled.
We talked about how good of a free throw shooting team UCF is. Third best free throw shooting percentage in the nation. This guy right here is virtually automatic the last 2 seasons at the free throw line. You're looking at me like I did something wrong.
I wanted to allow
like I
you.
did something wrong.
I wanted to allow you to speak for yourself first.
I didn't do anything wrong.
That is Perry's first miss at the line this year.
I'm just reading from the teleprompter.
He is now 8 of 9. 8 of 10, missed both. That might not happen again the rest of the year for Darius Perry.
Don't think I've seen him miss 2 in a row.
0 for 2, it stays a 4-point game. Goldwire down the lane. Groves lost the handle. Gibson in a heavy traffic, and UCF commits a foul. That'll be their 7th, so it's a 1-and-1 for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Dre Fuller got a little too greedy on this because there was a chance. He had a good wall up by Darius Perry as Isaiah Adams goes to recover. Tough to tell if the referee saw hand or heard hand on that foul.
Gibson 82% at the line this year. First 3 seasons at North Texas before transferring to OU in 2020. Hits both. 13 points for Umoja Gibson. Perry, change of pace, intercepted by Goldwire.
On the court for UCF that are all capable 3-point shooters. If you're Oklahoma, you have to understand that from the scouting report. Darren Green is the most prolific. But Johnson and Perry and Mahan can get hot too.
There's Green from the corner. Rebounded by Gibson. Big stop for Oklahoma.
I love Goldwire's patience with the basketball. He never feels rushed.
Goldwire's got it back with 10 on the shot clock. Groves down the lane. Wouldn't drop, but he'll be on the line.
That's the offense that I think, you know, this coaching staff expected to see. You wanted ball movement, 2 pick and rolls. You had a really hard roll by Groves, and it was making the extra pass, the hockey assist, if you will, for this offense. Been a few possessions where it's clicked really nicely. And if UCF, how do you extend this 3 minutes and 9 seconds? A great way to extend it is by getting to the free throw line. You want some ball movement on the perimeter, yes, offensively for UCF, but you want to attack, get into the paint. You're either making a play at the rim or you're getting the free throw line. That's how you extend this 3 minutes.
And given how much attention Oklahoma is paying to UCF's 3-point shooters, there should be opportunities for that.
There should be. But Oklahoma's defense, you have to give them credit. They have been lock you down here in the second half.
Johnson.
Like, that's really good defense. That's a bad play by Tony Johnson. Completely out of control.
Goldwire up ahead. Gibson passes on what would have been a wide open 3 to run some more time off the clock.
Sometimes I don't like that. You don't want to take your foot off the gas pedal too much and not give up, wide open opportunities.
Harkless knocked away by Green, and he saved it on the baseline. Perry hesitates. Needs somewhere to go. Green wide open, top of the key. That's a three. Back to a two-possession game with just more than 2 minutes to go.
That's why I don't love turning down great looks from your best perimeter shooter.
Porter Moser shouting instructions. Goldwire off a screen from Groves. 4 on the clock. Harkless has to take it. In and out, rebound Walker. Oklahoma conservative on the last 2 possessions. Perry will take it all the way and lay it in.
That was the first defensive possession for Oklahoma where they looked tired. The guards for Oklahoma looked tired on that possession. It felt like Darius Perry knew that, he felt that, and he said, I'm taking it to the rim because there is no help around the rim.
Timeout OU as we take you back for UCF defense leading to offense.
Darren Green gets the steal, saves it on the other end. Way too open look for one of the best three-point shooters in college basketball. You know he's knocking that down.
14 for Darren Green, 4 of 9 from three-point range. So the Knights now back within 4, and OU with 24 seconds on the shot clock.
Being up 8, with 2.5, 3 minutes to go, it is a weird time, especially for a team that's still trying to figure out their identity on offense. I go back to that play where Goldwire turned down that, Gibson turned down that wide open 3. That's their best three-point shooter. I don't like turning down wide open shots, especially on the road. With over 3 minutes left, that's too much time.
Gibson gets a step on Johnson and backs it out.
Groves was wide open on the roll. He's calling for a foul.
Harkless got it to Gibson.
Wow.
Out of bounds.
Wow.
Oklahoma turns it over.
And they missed Groves twice in the post. There was a mismatch with Tony Johnson. Initially pretty good help by C.J. Walker, but they missed him 2 times before that on that possession.
Perry gets a screen from Walker. Up top, Green, 4-3. Got it!
UCF sitting in a zone right now. They're going to take this down to about 12 seconds. Yep, they tried to go to Groves, wasn't there.
Gibson, Harkless with 5 on the clock. Harkless in traffic, tough shot, he got it! And once again, another second or so ran off the clock. Elijah Harkless taking and making a huge shot for Oklahoma.
That was about as good as defense as you can play in that possession. Playing without fouling, 2 hands up, and Harkless just makes the better play, the mid-range game. Wow, what a tough play by Harkless. Little bump back. C.J. Walker took a shot in the face on that possession. Watch C.J. Walker trying to get around Groves. Didn't look like much, but he was grabbing his nose the whole way down the court.
So they'll probably add a second or so to this clock, so it'll be at about 20 seconds. And so do you expect UCF to try to draw something up to get a 3? Or do you expect them to extend the game, try to go get a quick 2?
Personnel for UCF says you've got 3 great three-point shooters on the court. if you're going to run a set for an open 3 opportunity. If you don't get it, you have enough playmaking opportunity with Mahan and Perry enough to where you're going to try to get to the rim, potentially even draw a foul. Best case scenario is a 3. Second best case scenario is getting the free throw line. Opportunity to make 2 free throws and stop the clock and set up a press. You got Nolan guarding Darius Perry. They're trying to run the hammer play. They get it open briefly.
Johnson down to 5. He'll take it all the way. Layup, no. And it's saved by Oklahoma, and time expires.